That was outrageous.
I am so happy. I can't believe you did not notice. They were like just sitting there in design, and I thought you were gonna notice. Okay, everybody, if you missed it, let me show you what you missed. Because Sami has been excited about changing your photo. So this is Sami's photo right here. Wait, why isn't okay? Yeah, there we go. Oh, now I got to make it small. I don't know how to do it. No, other one.
You need to share it.
What? Anyway,
this is a background. You goon.
Oh, I see. Yeah, never mind. It's fine. So, anyway, that's the. So I got a bunch of pirate photos. There we go. That's it. That's the whole story. It's not that great.
Wait, this is the. Oh no, you're right. Oh, because I clicked background too. That's so.
Hi, Sami.
Making fun of you.
I know it's great. It's great. Yeah. All right. Who's joining us today? Yeah. Let us know. Let us know who's here, and if you.
Megan. Like...
Hi, Megan. Welcome.
Tim, I like that you commented, "Why are we dressed like a pirate?" That's the most like dad joke version of this. Quit. Get out of here.
It does make me very happy. So I've been sitting on the pirate photos like all morning, just not wait. Couldn't wait. That was all in Gemini. Oh my gosh, where in Spain are you? That is loyal. What time is it in Spain? Oh my goodness.
Oh, Megan. I was like, I'm not in Spain. What are you talking about? Are you looking up the time?
I am looking at that. It's 5 p.m. Well, thanks for joining in. That is awesome.
I hope you're joining in with a at least a sip of sangria.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, at this time of the day, for sure.
You gotta. Well, hi Tim. Welcome back. Nice to have you back.
Yeah, it was good. I was covering
everybody where you were.
I had a busy last Wednesday. I was speaking to the CTOs and CIOs of all the largest foundations like in the world, like Chan Zuckerberg, Gates Foundation, and literally I was doing a lot of what we do on this show. I was showing them how valuable Gemini in particular is for small nonprofits. So we were I was doing that in the morning, and then I flew up to Ottawa for an Imagine Canada panel that I was on about AI adoption. And I had the wild thing where my brain stopped working in the middle of the panel. I had to step off the panel. It was wild. At some point I need to think about that because it took me a long time to figure that out. It was like a really, really big deal for me, but I feel like everybody there was really cool with it. And the panel also was full of really, really amazing speakers. So it was great. And I got to meet Micah Adler in person. Hi, Micah. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining today. So, well, I didn't get a selfie with him. I was going through my photos afterwards and I was like, and I thought that I had. So that just shows you how out of it I was. So I got to meet.
That is crazy. Like, I kind of want to make fun of you for it, but also
I think you should. No, go for it. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean, that would have been it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So I did those two things. And then the next day, and Dan was up there too. So Dan Kirsch and I got to hang out together, which was awesome. Yeah. And then we went to Furniture Bank, and I did a day of training on AI with his staff, which was super, super fun. And so
tell us a little more about that, actually, because last week when you were gone, Dan and I actually went through, and I know you know this because you kind of popped on, but Dan and I went through like how he's used AI in like a let me make curious words. You know what I mean? And so I'm really interested in like, okay, so we went from Dan as CEO kind of shoulder to shoulder teaching, sort of like sneakily teaching curiosity and using AI here. And then we've got Tim coming in to actually like formally teach about it. Like, what was that experience? What did you teach? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, I mean, the big takeaway here for everybody to know is that more than any other technology, the view of the leader, the main leader in an organization, their view of AI is going to really shape the adoption of that technology. And so that's not just do they love it, that is, are they creating psychological safety for people to explore it, right? And are they
Ooh.
creating psychological safety for people to be resistant to it? And both of those are equally important inside of an organization so that you can find your own way forward in it. That's not to say anything goes. Like, hey, if you don't want to use this tool that is part of the way that we do things, that's a different story. But for generative AI, there's a lot of personal choice in the way that you're going to use it. And so just a lot more than other technologies, the psychological safety piece of that and creating culture is just so critical. So I walked into a room where that had been done as good as I will ever see it. Dan has just created all of the right markers for people to be open to that. And, I mean, with someone that is as good as Dan at using this technology, I would understand if there was a lot of, if people were hesitant because they felt like Dan was so much better or something. Not a hint of that. People were like, Dan has done such a great job of saying, hey, I'm learning too. We're figuring this out together. So that's the first thing I'll say, is that Dan set the stage on that really well. And then the second thing I'll say is that people respond to fun in a way that a lot of trainers just think is, I don't know, too juvenile or something.
Childish. Yeah.
It is really weird to me how we have this perception of professional is never fun. And so a lot of what I'm doing is taking prompts that could be used in a lot of different work use cases, and I'm really pointing them at the delight centers of people's brains.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. And that also creates community. And this was the first time I'd trained a staff where they were all on one team. So I'm used to training staff, like a bunch of people in a room that, aren't in the same organization. So that was really fun. And then I rolled out the sticky note model on the AI feelings framework. And they responded really well to that. It's the second time I've done that in person. It is a really powerful model. I don't know that it can be done virtually though. It's just,
Okay.
yeah. So I think that was the next thing I learned. And then, and then Dan's got a great team. They were all there, eager to go. People were not hesitant to share, the pluses and minuses they saw about things. People leaned into the roles that they had, and it was great. For introductions, we wrote stand-up comedian bits for each person, and then had somebody else read them to each other. And so throughout,
Oh, I love that.
we had different groups read off like 3 at a time their introductions, which was really fun. I'd never done that before, and I will definitely be repeating it. So yeah, it was great. It was really, really amazing. I feel like it was not just scratching the surface. It set up future conversations really well. And I think that we're going to do digital guidance with their team, so we can walk into some of that as well. But for the AI training, it was really fun. So, yeah.
I love that. And I think one of the things you hit on there, it's funny because we joke a lot about the flack that we can get for being I love that you called it fun. Like, it is meant to be, we figured out the term a couple weeks ago, like clinically curious, right? Which
Right.
I'm obsessed with right now.
Yep.
And I think it does just such a good job of explaining how we are adapting, like, and it allows us to not take ourselves so seriously. It allows us to understand that, like, we are learning shoulder to shoulder with everybody, and we just happen to be a couple steps forward sometimes. And so we turn around and we lend a hand, and we joke about the rocks that we also stumbled over. And I think that is so powerful. And it's something that, like, as a professional, I've actually really struggled with, right? Because I'm the one, which you didn't comment on my shirt for today.
Sorry.
My bows.
Look at that. Look at all. I'm trying to think of a pun, and I'm so disappointed that nothing is coming up.
Yikes.
I know, exactly.
Um,
Anyway, I do like your bow shirts.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
But like that's the fun part, right? Is that we know that we have to bring people back to this idea that like it is okay to not know exactly what you're doing right away, and you just need to know a little bit and you need to keep moving forward versus you need to know everything and you need to be perfect at it, because that's what screws people up. And I think that's the piece that like the way you articulated it, I'm actually really excited to kind of go back and pull some of those sound bites, because it is really hard to get people to understand that like it's okay to have a little fun while you're doing this. In fact, you'll probably do better if you take off the pressure and just like enjoy the experience instead of panicking about, well, I'm going to get this wrong or do this incorrectly or something like that. So I love the way you explained that. That was
Thanks. Yeah. You know what I
cool.
learned last week for the first time? I don't think I realized this. As a speaker, you can create that in a room instantly for the amount of time that you're leading a session. And
Okay.
so an interesting thing that happened was, I think I've struggled with stage fright forever. Like this has
Which is
been
crazy.
really hard for me to get over. And for the first time ever, last Wednesday morning, I had none. I was completely comfortable in maybe the room with the most like these are the pinnacle of their careers in tech. And because I was present, this is what I really struggle with. If you're scared, you can't show up. And if you can't show up, you're not there for other people because you're so busy thinking about yourself. Anyway, for the first time, I was able to just be present and think about what other people were feeling. And because of that, I started asking questions that I feel like were scary questions to me to ask. Like, hey, I'm saying this about Google, about Gemini and security. You all know way more than I do about all of these things and risks. Am I lying about that? I just straight up asked that. And we had a really informative discussion around that, right? And I feel like part of what's going on there is that I didn't know if you got yourself to a place where you could be present, you can create that instantly outside of a culture. You can just create that. I am so excited about that because that is going to change how I view the function of speaking radically. So I think that's kind of fun. I don't know. This is like into the weeds about me. So we could like move to something else, but it was a really good trip last week. It was very fun.
I love it. No, I think that what's funny is like that's how I felt when I interviewed for my last job. Was like, oh, I finally like understand what I'm talking about, and this works if I am comfortable in what I'm talking about or comfortable in admitting what I don't know. And that, like, I remember when I got done with that interview, I called somebody and I was like, hey, I think this is crazy that I am able to, like, I enjoyed that interview for the first time because I was like, look, if they aren't catching this, we're not a fit.
Yeah.
And I think that's very similar to how you felt on that stage. Is like, I just have to be where I am and who I am today. And that's going to have to be good enough.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Interestingly,
So
I never stepped on the stage. So maybe that's why I didn't have stage fright. I just walked around in the room with a microphone, handing it to people to talk. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, so much there. And the delight centers, at some point, we need to talk about the science of disappointment and delight and the way that we are not optimizing it in tech and that we think is about user experience when it's actually much more about user expectation. So for a future time, that would be a great thing to cover. But I know that's not what you're covering today. So where are we headed?
Yes. So today's Upskillerator, after this, we're actually talking about NotebookLM. And I know you've done some deep dives on NotebookLM lately. And so I was kind of looking at some of the updates to Gemini lately. There's a Gemini in Chrome, which I think is helpful, but I don't know is like the crux key to like nonprofit, manageability. So that I put down for a future episode to see if there's some more application there. But
interesting.
I was thinking going back to NotebookLM because I know there's been some improvements and we've kind of teased them as we've looked through them. But, you know, there is the video overview option, and there's a new reports feature that I haven't seen before. We've talked about flashcards in the past. We haven't found a crazy use case to sort of like demonstrate, but I wanted to sort of like get in and explore NotebookLM. So that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Love it.
And from the perspective of how can we utilize sort of what we'd already built with the Impact Me Foundation and build on that. So people have seen, if they've been to some of these previous episodes, and if you haven't, you're not missing anything. But if you have seen these previous episodes, you've seen that like we're building off of what we've already made. So we're not rebuilding things every episode, things like that. But Tim, I know you have a really interesting use case. And you also mentioned something about an update yesterday, which usually I'm pretty up to like snuff on the update. So tell me more.
Okay. They don't announce updates anywhere. You just are like
It
going
is so
along.
hard for me to find that. Like I have on our Notion, I have a whole running like ticker of Gemini release, and I have to go find them every single time and add them in manually. It's crazy.
See if they put it out there. But the big release that they did is that they incorporated into video. You can now, they like added Nano Banana to that, or at least images. I want to be careful there. It's not that you can add your own images. It's that they created 6 different styles that you can choose from when it's putting together the graphics that it puts together. And the graphics before were really simplistic, but effective. These graphics are slightly better. They're still simplistic. There's a big conversation that we got into online yesterday about how to handle this, but I want to walk through the way that I found a really simple use case that I think almost everybody can do this one, or we'll have a situation like this. So we'll just walk that through. So do you have a notebook? You have a NotebookLM? Well, I'll just tell you what to prompt, and then we can go through it that way if that's okay.
Yeah, because we're going to do it based on the Impact Me Foundation. So
yeah, it's great.
I'm going to start in that notebook. And for folks, I'm going to actually go back to, I'm going to show how you can get to NotebookLM because it is a little chaos.
Okay, while you're doing that, I want to just set the context for how I've started to think about NotebookLM and where to, like, how to structure your brain around how to use it. So, because it's not like anything else that I've seen out there, is think of NotebookLM as an aggregator of a specific idea that helps you process in multiple ways big amount of information. It doesn't have to be a big amount, but it can be. You can have up to 300 sources on there. And so, for example,
which is new, by the way. When we first started this, it was 25.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, great. Yeah, no, it's now 300. It still has the limit that you can't add some types of files. You can add text, you can add websites, you can add YouTube, and you can add documents, but I don't think that you can add slides or spreadsheets.
You can't add Microsoft products, basically.
Yeah, but you can't. You also can't add. Can you add sheets? I felt like you couldn't add sheets, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Let me find out.
Yeah.
Looks like no.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I found too. Okay. So, and then it actually is such a great way of understanding how AI works, because you've got Gemini that is a large language model that just knows a lot about everything, right? Like just general purpose intelligence, but nothing specific, right? Like it's just out there. And if you ask it a question, it'll think about that one question, but it can't hold context, right? And so what NotebookLM does is that it says, apply everything you know about everything else to these data sources around this topic, right? So on the left side, you've got all your data sources, and in the middle, you've got the topic that you're talking about. And you can go in now and you can adjust how it thinks about that topic. So you can add some instructions there. You can say, I want shorter responses, longer responses. And then at the bottom of that, what's that?
Where can you do that?
Yeah, where can you do that?
I know you can. I just haven't, maybe settings.
Yeah, try settings.
No, I'll look into it. Because I know you used to be able to, but it was more like right in front of yourself, and now I'm not.
Yeah, I thought that it was. I thought it was too. So I'm gonna look at that. Oh, up at the top of the chat, there's yep, on the right side, right there. Click there.
There it is.
Yep. So
look, we've already done it.
Perfect. Great. Okay. Instructions are so important. Instructions are how you tell it how to interact with the context that you're giving it and all those sources, and then what you want, why you're asking it things. What's the output that you're looking for? So, and then the bottom of that window, you can just chat with it. So you can just talk to it like you're talking to any other, any Gemini or any other chat, and it's gonna give you responses relative to how it understands the sources you're talking about. One thing that's really cool is that you can check off of sources and check on sources. So if you want to just ask a question about a specific thing, you can uncheck everything except that one source, talk to it about that. You'd probably have to clear the chat or whatever, but you can have a conversation that's relative to just that one source. And then in the studio, which is on the right side, the studio is where you make stuff. The studio, this is what's really, really unique about NotebookLM is the studio. So you can,
and you can see 70 days ago, we did generate a video, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we should compare it.
I just did. So before we started, I did just click like generate video. Like I just clicked the button that said, generate video overview. I didn't give it any extra information.
And that'll give you a really good overview of everything that's in there. I want to show you the use case that I found the other day that is just really, really specific and worked really well for the use case. So I don't know if you already did this. I was going to say to generate a 2-day retreat schedule for us. Did you already do that?
Well, I did a 2-day summit schedule with
perfect.
bios and locations.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, all right. So take that and turn it into a source.
Okay.
And I actually don't know how you do that. I just know that you can. So
I think so. You can actually save it to a note.
Yeah. And then the note can be saved.
Convert to a source.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, great.
Boom,
so
look at that.
It just showed up there. Uncheck everything except that one note. All right. So right now, as soon as you uncheck that, now it knows nothing. Right. This is what's so interesting. Like it just now is like filtering off everything. So now it doesn't know anything. And we just want it to know about that summit schedule that you made. So just click on that one thing.
Where to go?
It's like halfway down. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Question on that before I hit go.
Yeah.
Because you can see that the summit schedule itself is actually using some of our other sources. Is that helpful? Not helpful?
I think that's fine. Actually, it'll just give it some context. So I think that's okay.
But should I leave those checked, or should I still uncheck everything but the schedule?
Yeah, leave everything checked except the schedule, right?
Other way around.
Yep, the opposite. The only thing checked is the schedule. Thank you. I have a bad habit of saying the opposite. Okay, here's why I'm saying to do it that way, because it knew everything to create the schedule, but now what we want to do is focus on the schedule itself. And inside of the schedule is got some context embedded that will be really helpful for the video we're going to create.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's not, I don't think it's going to go chase down the links that it's finding in there. I think it's just going to be like, oh, okay, well, this is where we're pulling from. Okay. All right.
Really quickly, before we move on to the next step. Do you see this source guide? Have you seen this before?
Yeah. I didn't even know that was new. Is that
overview? That's cool. I had not seen, and I got back in last night and last week to play with this a little bit. That's cool though, because think about like the power of being able to share. So internally you can share these, right? And so I could share this with you and you could be like, I don't understand what this source is for.
Yep.
And instead of getting in here and trying to figure out every little bit, I mean, sure, the summit agenda feels natural, but like our client report template, maybe that's really long and jargony, and this helps us like figure out what it actually supports.
Absolutely.
I love that. Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Okay, keep going.
Don't be. No,
so we've got our summit agenda.
No, I want to say one other thing on that, which is that the reason, like I've said this before, I think Anthropic's going to win the developer market. I think that OpenAI is going to win the commercial or the consumer market, like individuals. And I think Google's going to win the commercial market because Google is thinking about documents a lot more than the other ones. They're thinking, so in Gemini, they've already created ways for you to do exactly what you're seeing there across your entire drive. And that's going to lead into something that is critical for the future, which is context architecture and archiving, right? So context is what you own. We're calling it a knowledge base now, but it's actually more like a context base. And context engineering in the future is going to be really, really critical. So it's not just what do you know, because you can create that really quickly, as Dan Kershaw has shown with all of the ways that you can do deep research and all that. What is harder to create is why that matters. And what Gemini is doing is creating large scalable tools that can define why things matter really, really effectively. So it's almost like they're basically turning your whole drive into a vector database with embedding and all of that.
What's brilliant there is so many people are already in Drive.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Like that's the kicker here.
Yeah, it's already their domain. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's why we chose, again, reminding people, we don't get sponsored by Google. We don't like Tim and I hop on every Wednesday to talk about Gemini because it is the easiest to enable across a nonprofit organization in the most affordable manner.
And it has the only enterprise grade security and privacy that is offered free to nonprofits.
It's just crazy. Like, yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry, keep going. Cool. I was messing with the buttons while we were.
No, that's fine. Talking. Okay, so the use case I want to do is we've got this summit coming up, and we just want to send a promo video to either the attendees or to put it on social media. Saying it's to the attendees is helpful because then your marketing director is not getting caught up in, wait, it says NotebookLM at the end of the video, right? So who cares what it says at the end of the video is if it's helping people understand what we're going to do at this summit, that's helpful. Okay. So you can set instructions for a video. So the instructions that I want to put down there is create a promo video that is less than 3 minutes.
For the summit?
That's it. I mean, you can say for the summit if you want, but
no, I'm sticking to it.
Oh my gosh. Did you just salute me?
I would never.
I just saw you. Everybody just saw you salute me. Unbelievable.
Your camera's this big. Can you, like, your screen's this big? Can you really see
Now you're going to make fun of me for being old. Right? Yeah. That's where you're headed next.
Actually, your setup makes you at least 20 years younger than you are.
Hold on. It didn't do something that I thought it would do.
Which is?
It didn't give you the option of what style you were creating that video in.
So I was wondering about that. We created this how long ago, right? My concern. So that's because it's already generated, right? Let's create a new. I was wondering, that's kind of why I hung over the explainer side of it.
Yeah.
The nice part is we have all of this in a nice little, like I have all of our Impact Me Foundation documents.
Right. Yeah.
Right in.
Well, okay. So just for that, just while it's doing that one, then go back and create a new NotebookLM and just and grab we're going to grab the summit schedule and just put that as the only thing in the notebook.
Oh, well, we're going to do another notebook then because I've already started. So sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, you can use that notebook. It doesn't really matter. I was just trying to save you time.
The only thing I wish they would add
folders, folder ads. Yeah, me too.
Like this is chaos, right?
I know,
like,
right.
I wonder.
They at least let you do it. They at least let you select multiples. What kills me
not
is
multiples within other. Like I just try to do 2 folders.
No. Yeah, they don't allow you to do folder selection, but they do allow you to do multiple selections and multiple ads at the same time, which they do not let you do in almost all the rest of their stuff. If you're doing deep research, you want to add 9 things, you're clicking yes 9 times. So
yeah, which is crazy, right?
Right. Yeah, it is.
Okay, let me copy this guy. We'll make it a. All right, let's add a note. We're gonna call it.
Okay, that's weird. Oh, I know what it is. Actually, try it before you make a new notebook. Go back to the original notebook. I want you
Before I make it, like I haven't already.
Before, well, yeah, you already have. I feel like that's the kind of thing that I'd like to have you do is do extra work, and I feel like I'm missing an opportunity to like having had you do extra work, but I don't know.
But you're doing great at saying nothing. What do you want me to do?
Okay, all right.
To be fair, you guys, I had a different plan for today. Tim told me about what he's done with NotebookLM, and I asked him to do this. So as much crap as I'm giving him, it's on me because I had a different plan, and then I really liked what he had done. So I was like, all right, just talk me through it during the episode.
Okay, I think that what you did is you clicked on video overview in the central window, right?
No, I clicked it in the studio.
Okay,
I clicked
click
over
up
here.
there again. Oh, wild. Okay, yeah, okay.
But I wonder if I click it in our new one.
Yeah, let's see it in the new one.
Let me convert this to a source. Unselect all sources. Oh, whoops. It's 2 sources, but that's okay. And then if I click it here.
What is happening? What?
So Tim, this is a shared.
Oh, I've got Ultra.
That's what I was going to say. This is a shared. Let me put it in our chat. Why don't you share your screen quick?
Okay.
And why don't, because the videos they're generating anyway, apparently they take.
All right. So this is the Impact Me Foundation?
Yep. So I'll stop screen sharing. I'll let you screen share. So while Tim's setting that up, you guys, so Tim is convinced that I won't be able to convince Jenny to upgrade, which Jenny is his wife and like chief
CFO.
I know we just hired a chief chaos coordinator, but like she's actually the chief chaos coordinator. And she's amazing and tied probably with John David for my favorite Lockie. That's not true, John David. Adore you, but Jenny takes the cake every time. But she I joke about her because she's the one that can make the decision to upgrade my Human Stack Google Gemini subscription to Ultra instead of Pro. So what Tim's about to show you
this?
Yeah, what Tim's showing you is something that like you can see I don't have access to it because he wants me to fail in front of all of you. This is really cool though. Whoa.
Isn't it? Look at this papercraft right there. We've got anime, heritage.
Okay, so what do you think while we're waiting for mine to load?
I like retro print. The whiteboard is actually pretty cool too. So, okay. And then I thought that they didn't have this because I hadn't scrolled down.
Really quickly. Whiteboard could change the game on impact demonstration.
Yeah, it could.
So think about us taking the I forget the name of the fake program that we built with Impact Me. But imagine us being able to say, like, because of these things, we've been able to draw these conclusions. You know what I mean? Like, holy hell, that would be. You guys are about to see me pop out on like LinkedIn or the human. I'm just gonna sprinkle the Human Stacks LinkedIn with all of my random little videos. But like, think about Tim. Think about how hard it is for us to describe what digital guidance is, or digital driver's ed, or like. And these are Human Stack actual programs that Tim and the Human Stack offer, right? It is very hard to articulate how these programs work, but to be able to have like sort of that whiteboard sketch drawing. Oh my gosh, that would be cool.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead while that's going because maybe
what is the
makes it faster for you too.
I can't find the summit schedule. What did you call it?
You should just be able to search summit.
I know, right?
Weird.
Is this the right one? No, this can't be the right one. Look at this. This is 155 days ago.
Tim Lockie.
And I've only got 2 things in the side. I think this is a different one.
Maybe it's because it's my note.
I don't know.
Because it definitely is.
Oh, okay, but I can't see anything else that you've created. I can only see the things.
Yeah, that's actually what makes me think.
Okay, all right.
It is because it's my note. So here. I'll send you the summit really quickly.
Yeah. Just put it in a document and share it because we can see shared documents.
Yes. And
so, it is Nano Banana in video overviews. I knew it. Okay.
So maybe it just needs to update for some weird reason.
No, I think it is probably tied to Ultra. I think they're rolling it out to me first.
But see, look at your up top. Yours says Pro.
Yeah. True enough. Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh. Okay, weird. Did you put that in here? Where is it?
I am right now. I'm sorry. It's not fast enough. But I will say, luckily, that once it's done, mine is also, like, my original video is generated. So we'll be able to.
Okay, actually, I like your idea of this thing. Create an explainer video for the onboard plan. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just going to generate that. Okay, cool. And we're doing that on a whiteboard.
Okay, well, while that goes, I'm going to share mine.
Okay, and did you upload that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so if I search for Summit now, I'm really curious.
Hit refresh. Like maybe shift refresh. You know what I mean? Like the hard refresh. Now type Summit.
Did you share the document with me or put it in a shared folder?
Maybe not.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the thing I like about Gemini is that they actually are holding on to document permissions in sources.
But what it's done in the past for us, and to be fair, this was at least 70 days ago, Tim. But what we've done in the past is you'd create, because we tested this. I remember you and I being like, hey, I think we need to look for, oh, great. Oh, I love that. That's cool, because I did just share it with you. But you created a notebook LM with docs that you had not shared with me, and you could share the LM. I could see the docs, but I couldn't get into them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder, we'll have to look if it's just logged in somewhere, because I've got this shared with you. You're an editor.
Find it. Okay, let's find it. Let's do it. Summit. Okay.
Pure chaos.
Send me the link in the back channel here, and then
okay, I'm gonna do that while you, and then I'm gonna share my screen and show the updated the video that I got generated over here, so we can compare the two. All right, building systems with care. Let's see. Make sure, Tim, let me know if you can hear it.
Okay.
When it plays. I wonder if I can make this full screen. There we go. Can you see full screen?
I can.
So today, we're going to take a look inside the Impact ACME Foundation. Now, this is a...
Pause. This is the video overview for what that's worth. This isn't the one that we talked about, because that is 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
We're going to turn the speed up so we can at least watch like a little bit of it.
Really interesting organization because of their unique approach to helping nonprofits. They don't just parachute in with quick fixes or some new software. Instead, they focus on building systems that are truly human-centered, equitable, and, get this, even joyful. Okay, this quote right here is at the very core of everything they do. It's not about them swooping in to be the hero. No, it's about creating an environment, the right conditions.
I mean, I'm not mad at what it's gotten me so far. That's cool.
It is cool.
And if we were to give like a, let me give the preview of like what it had done previously, right?
Today, we're digging into a really fascinating nonprofit called the Impact MA Foundation, and they're all about rethinking how we make change happen in the world. So let's just jump right in with a big question. What if the most powerful way to have an impact wasn't really about what you do, but about how you do it? This is the idea that just pulses through everything at Impact. And this quote, wow, it just nails their whole philosophy.
Huh. I don't know that I feel that those are that different. Is that weird?
No,
but I don't have Nano Banana on my, you know what I mean? Like, so that's where like, I don't have that updated. They did switch genders on the narrator, which I think is a little odd.
Okay, so I now have just one thing on here. Here's
pause.
Oh, now I'm hearing an echo. All right, I made two changes. One of the changes that I made was I went to the custom instructions and I said, Impact Me is pronounced Impact Me, right? So we'll see if we can get them to pronounce it correctly. And then the second change I made is that I just unselected everything except the note that we created. So on this one, I'm just gonna say create a 2-minute explain promo video for this event, for the summit event. Okay, all right. And then for this, I actually want to use this paper craft. I think it's kind of cool. All right, so now it's going. It's going to take a while.
We'll see how it goes.
The thing here is that it's not, so what it's done really well from the beginning with audio overview is it's created a digestible audio, not verbal, not written transcript, right? With video, they're adding something that's interesting, but, and this is really important to understand, a video is just a soundtrack on top of a visual track, right? There are two things going on there. It's important to know that because what I'm seeing come out of this, if you point it at something really specific, like create a short explainer promo video for this thing, right? You get an 80% draft of someone saying all of that stuff really well, right? You can export that, put it into Descript, separate the audio from the video, add your own layout on the video, and you can use it however you want. You can use their graphics. You can put your logo on it. You can add your own things to it, add your own background music to it that's your own, put an intro that you've got for all of your other work on it, and then use their soundtrack because the soundtrack is perfect. And the audio is the hardest part of video, right? So that's the actual win here, is creating really short, digestible video content that is 80% done on the hardest thing, which is the script, the reader, and some logical flow, right?
Yes.
Does that make sense? So it's not so much that
just to like
final output.
Yeah. And to remind, just because when you start talking about, you do the thing that I do where like we get really into the weeds on it. Descript is just a video editing software that Tim's got. But if you were to download this video and like upload it to Canva, it also comes with the audio. So anything that you would use to create a new video. So if you just like the audio piece and you want a completely different video with it, you can do that. And you can inverse it, is what Tim's saying. So it allows you to create two different assets that you could then split off and use however you might want. And what this does, to get back to like why we do what we do in AI for Anyone Live, and I love that today's episode has been a lot more about like us learning together because we haven't done that on an episode for a while, but it shows how to get 80% of the way there in 20% of the time, which is like for people like you and I who think as like fast and drop things just as fast. It is so nice to be able to like, I want a video that does this thing. And it gets me most of the way there. And I'm like, okay, I might change this. I might change that. And now I need to decide, do I want to actually like get in and edit, or do I want to send this to my editing team? Maybe you've got a bigger team and you're like, I don't know how to give them my vision, but I can give them a sample of my vision and show them exactly how awesome it could be if they were to put their spice on it. So like, here's the video that sort of like captures my vision, what I do and don't like about it. Now go and save them that 50% of the time that's just back and forth, updating, editing, etc. I mean, that piece, crazy.
Yep.
Is your video ready? Because mine is.
My video is still not ready. I think that they take longer if we're doing it this way.
I'm sure. So this doesn't have the nano banana, but we can at least see what it would do. Because that was the use case that I was so interested in talking through with him, was the schedule. So let's
until yesterday, I didn't have nano banana either.
Yeah, you can see I was sort of like looking over here to see got like NotebookLM updates. Because I know if you're saying pro up here, it tells me that it's likely some sort of I need to hit the right button, or they're just rolling it out to pro users. And because you're the admin on our users, you're going to get it first. That, not sure. Okay, let's see. So here's important to note from this perspective. It's a 4-minute video, so we're still not going to listen to the whole thing. But we did ask it for 3, which I think is kind of crazy. To give us a good example of things that like still bother us about AI, it's stuff like that. Character counts it can't track character counts or word counts very well either. Like pure
Here
chaos.
at Impact Me, we're not just building a company. We're trying to build a future where every single one of us can truly thrive. And that's why I am so incredibly excited to announce our upcoming internal summit, Systems for Flourishing. Our executive director, Benjamin Hopsworth, really hit the nail on the head with this one. See, this isn't about sitting around and waiting for change to happen to us. Not at all. It's about us intentionally designing an environment where transformation, well, it just becomes the natural, inevitable outcome. We are the architects here. So that's the big question, right? What does it actually take to get there? How do we weave that kind of powerful, intentional change right into the very DNA of our company? And that is exactly what this 2-day virtual summit is all about. This is our chance to do a deep dive as a whole remote team into the real practical systems that are going to drive lasting change, not just in our work, but for ourselves too. And I want to be really clear. Just some catchy slogan we put on a poster, it's our core operating principle. We are moving past the theory and jumping straight into the daily practice that our best work, the work that has the most sustainable impact.
Are you skipping it ahead, or is it just jumping
first?
Okay.
I mean, we're all familiar with the
I was
old
trying to
quote,
skip
right?
it ahead to
Where
see.
burnout is
So one of the things I'm struggling with, this is based on one source. I don't hear in this the schedule.
Cornelius is such a passionate champion for the
Now, there's, I think, a reason for that. And I'll be interested in like a report back on yours. I added speaker bios. And I wonder if that was more context that distracted than helped.
Yeah. So I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if everybody else is hearing it too.
I'm going to mute. It's probably mine. Let me fix. So you go ahead and explain what you're going to explain.
Okay. Yeah. So no, I'm still hearing it. Is that on my end?
Probably.
I guess so.
Dang, today's like the book of struggles.
I know, right?
Are you still hearing it? Because I have not heard it, so it's hard for me to help.
I am hearing it, but I'm going to just ignore it. Oh, now it went away. Well, whatever I did. Okay.
Cool.
When I created it before, and I think this is really critical, is that you give it exactly only the information that you want out of it. And this is the thing that
this is where I fail all the time.
Right, exactly. If you want to hear about speakers, then create a document or a note that is just, here's the speaker bios, right? And if you want to do the schedule, just do the schedule. And when I did it that way, it was a lot tighter. So I think that probably is part of it. In the instructions, you might be able to get there by saying, just focus on the time. Don't focus on speakers. So that could be one way of getting there. And mine's still rolling, like it hasn't finished yet. So
let's make sure we play it sort of like first thing next week.
Next time,
I want to let people go.
Okay, I gotta say, like, there's like a couple more things that you can do with this, right?
Yeah.
The point here, and you're making it, is you want to get that talk track to be exactly what you want. But and so you could create a video, you want to get it really specific, you want to get the time down exactly the way you want it. Now that you've got that, you can go put that in your own voice with 11 Labs. And then you can put it in your own voice in any language with 11 Labs. So
which 11 Labs is another software. No, we have not talked about it.
Yeah.
He's talking about the upskill version of this.
Yeah. So my point here, though, is that you can personalize this. And that's the magic of it. It's not just that it creates a short video. It's that it creates the foundations that are the hardest part to create so that you can go do extra things with it. And the extras are really where a lot of that shows up.
Yes.
Yeah, Mercury's in Gatorade right now, I guess.
That's so fun. Yeah. Which everybody say hi to Joni. She's sort of rejoining the Human Stack team. So we're excited. Today's like day one pretty much for her coming back. So excited to have you, Joni.
You've been waiting all day to do that, haven't you?
Yes. Do you guys want to see before we head out? One, do you want to talk about the Giving Tuesday? I think that's a good thing to end on. And then
absolutely. Okay. If you're not following the Giving Tuesday participate page, you should follow it. This week, they are focused on Dana Schneider, who is one of my favorite people. Also a client, monthly giving queen, absolute amazing content. Giving Tuesday every week is putting out the next, here's what to do before Giving Tuesday as a run up to Giving Tuesday. Their communications team is doing a great job with this. If you have not checked out that page, go check it out. If you're not signed up on their newsletter list, do it. It really is designed to help organizations maximize their campaigns for Giving Tuesday. And if you're like me, you're like, oh, I'm going to get started on that sometime, and you don't get it started soon enough. When you do decide to start, if you're like me, that's the page you can go to and catch up on all the stuff, because they're putting out every week is up there. So I just want to make sure everybody knows about that. And huge thanks to Giving Tuesday for contributing to the ecosystem that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what happens when Tim decides to go rogue and try and adjust and make his own ads for the day. The layout looks like this.
It is awesome.
It is. It's behind us. Get out of here. This is how I feel.
Oh my gosh. You've got another sound effector?
Sir, that's not the only one.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. You need to stop. You need to stop. We're going to lose listeners over this right here. People are going to be like, I'm not
That's how Tim feels right now.
What is
Those are the only ones I have. Those are it.
All right, give it up for Sami, who is definitely bringing the flair. We've got 34 pieces or more flair going on in this episode today. So
we will show some videos at the beginning of next week's episode. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your patience as we work through. I miss episodes like this where we kind of troubleshoot and work together. So I like having one every once in a while. And me and Tim kind of learning together, showing you guys our process, because it's a lot of what it looks like behind the scenes. So Tim, thank you for jumping in and being like, all right, if you're willing to like fail forward with me, let's do this together, and let's sort of like learn it and teach it together. So I'm excited to learn more in our Obscurator after this, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. We'll talk to you later. Bye everybody.